All right.
Good evening, friends. The Sacred Oak Temple respectfully acknowledges that we are located on Treaty 6 territory, here at a crossroads and meeting point for the Cree, Dene, Blackfoot, Saulteaux, Lakota, as well as the Métis peoples. I offer tobacco to the spirits of the land and ask their permission to be here and help with the time to come. As we remember our ancestors and the honored dead, let us remember as well those ancestors whose spirits live on in this land, whose names we do not know.
This would be. Let us prepare ourselves and purify ourselves now for the task in front of us. Here we are, physically apart, but united by our common humanity and our common purpose. Take a deep breath, hold it, and release it. And again. And, and a third time. We are prepared to enter sacred space. This is a ritual to honor and remember our ancestors and our honored dead. What is remembered lives on.
This is a halfway place that is not a place, a halfway time that is not a time, between the worlds of gods and mortals.
This is a place that is not a place, and a time that is not a time. We are halfway between the worlds of gods and mortals.
This is a place that is our home, in a time that is our lives, where we can be greater than we thought.
Okay, and you have a little explanation here.
We are willing to be moving in a counterclock circle, starting with the west, which is facing our direction right now. When you do so, please face west, as we will be calling in the honored dead.
It's traditional to move in a counterclockwise direction when you're uh, banishing something or when you're dealing with death and misfortune. And today we'll be calling in our honored dead from the land of the dead, which is in the land where the sun sets in the west. Water flows and supports. As the sun sets, so our loved ones must leave us. And the water of our tears is like the salt water of the sea, and like the water of our mother's wombs. And this blesses our circle.
To the south, the fiery energy that leaps from heart to heart. As life is a day, so our loved ones have passed into the night. The fire of our life, the memories, the courage, the strength given to us by our families, bless this circle. To the east,
Air blows from place to place and connects all who live and breathe. As all that falls shall rise again, so our loved ones will be reborn. The air we breathe, this treasure of our life, the compassionate caring that we give each other, blesses this circle.
and to the north. As the earth forms us, so the bodies of our loved ones shall return to the earth. Our mother feeds us and clothes us. She gives us everything, and in the end, she takes our bodies back. Earth, please bless our circle.
And now to the center. Spirit is intention and will and desire.
Through spirit, we decide and change the movement of energy to support our will.
Welcome, Spirit.
And now, for the goddess and the god. She who is the beauty of the green earth, and the white moon among the stars, and the mysteries of the waters, and the desires of the heart, call into your soul. Arise and come to her. I call the goddess as the crone, old and wise, as the Norns who decide the fate of everyone, as Hel, who rules the land of the dead.
He who is the mystery of death and rebirth, and the Son who brings life, and the mystery of the seed in the earth, and the desire of the heart, he calls unto your soul. Arise and come unto him. I call the god as the sage, old and wise, as Mimir, who drinks from the spring at the foot of the world tree, as Pluto, who rules the land of the dead.
I am opening the way for the dead and the ancestors to join our circle and bless us. This is the gate from which they will pass through. If you have a dead friend, a relative, or ancestor that you want to ask for advice, please call out to him or her, out loud or silently in your hearts, so that they know that they will be remembered. What is remembered lives on.
The dead and the ancestors are here. And now we are going to recite the names of those dead of the pagan communities over this past year, those that we know of. Kelly Gower,
Randy P. Connor,
Vince Hart, also known as Vincent Heretha,
Lynn V. Andrews, New Age author,
Loretta Orion, an author and professor,
Poppy Palin,
Joan Caruth, witch and priestess,
Apollo, pagan and drummer,
Catherine Fuller, Wiccan priestess and elder,
Rod Benion, known to the world as Tarot Star,
High Priestess Netta Whitty of Greenheart Grove in Santa Cruz, California,
David Tennant, a founder of our own Pagans for Peace in 1982,
Basil Leslie Wilby, also known as Gareth Knight, occultist and author,
Jeffrey Robinson Williams, one of the founders of South Bay Circles, High Priest of Waxing Moon, and writing pagan music under the name David Tower,
Anne Wynne, Linda Kluge Mansfield, a DC pagan and Wiccan and fierce environmental activist,
Geoffrey Ashe, longtime devotee of the goddess and talented writer,
Linda Filorio, who passes into the arms of the ancestors,
Rose May Dance, Gwyneth Dietrich, a Reclaiming co-founder,
Reverend Paul Byrell, author and educator, a Wiccan priest who founded the Rowan Tree Church and the tradition of Lothlorien,
Belle Bucha, pagan artist,
Karina Dawson,
Patrice Melodoma Sommet, author and teacher,
Heather Dawn, Calgary Wiccan elder,
Eglantine, Deborah Nelson, Wiccan priestess,
Sabrina Underwood, the Ink Witch, an artist. And now to our honored dead:
Betty White, actor,
Robert Bly, poet and teacher,
James R. Lewis, scholar,
Elizabeth Regina II,
James Lovelock, creator of the Gaia hypothesis,
and I personally wish to remember my father, Eldon Wagar, my brother, Douglas Wagar, my sister, Judith Wagar, my stepfather, Cam Shell, my grandmothers, Rose Mahon and Louisa Wagar, and my ex-wife, the mother of my children, Alice Ratzlaff.
I personally remember my grandfather, Harlan James Moen, resident and founding member of the Marsh Lake communities in Whitehorse, Yukon, and my lifelong friend and companion, Blossom.
When my time comes, may those I loved, or those that knew me, remember me, for what is remembered lives on.
May I ask you now again to say out loud the names of your dead, your ancestors, your friends, your heroes and teachers, whether they died this year or many years ago. This is the time of year when the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead are the thinnest. The ancestors walk and check in on their people. It is a good time to ask for their advice and for divination.
Give them a minute.
Before we proceed with our divination, I would like everyone to take a moment to relax and ground. Think about this coming winter and of the past year. What do you need advice from the ancestors about?
Go. This is a personal message, so I won't show you my card.
Nor I.
That's the message from our ancestors about this coming year. It's time to bless and to share food and drink. It is not I who blesses food and drink, but they who bless us, because in their nature they nourish our bodies, and when we share them, we create community. I'd like you to have something to eat, something to drink. Share food and drink with me and whoever is in your circle at home. May you never thirst.
Blessed be. May you never thirst.
Blessed be. May you never hunger.
Blessed be. May you never hunger.
Mm-hmm. The three foods of the dead in Northern European tradition, the three foods that were abundant at this time of year, are the apples that become sweet after the first frost, nuts and pork from the pigs that couldn't be fed over the winter. I give some to the ancestors.
We would like to bless you, community who is watching us. Please, may you commune with your ancestors, and may you have a blessed year.
Blessed be.
Thank you to the ancestors for knowledge and for the gift of our lives. Please depart now in peace to the land of rest. Blessed be. Thank you to the gods and the goddesses who tend the dead and prepare them for rebirth. To the crone, old and wise, the Norns who decide on the fate of everyone, Hel who rules the land of the dead, the sage, old and wise, Mimir who drinks from the spring at the foot of the world tree, and Pluton who rules the land of the dead.
Thank you. Thank you to Spirit, which makes me part of everything. Hail to Spirit.
To the north, we welcome our deaths and our lives. Hail and farewell, dear earth.
Hail to Earth.
To the east,
We thank the spirits of the ancestors and the honored dead not yet reborn. Hail, air.
to the south, we remember our heroes and inspiration. Hail, fire.
Hail, fire.
Farewell.
And at the west, we welcome our ancestors to incarnate in our children and our grandchildren and in our families. Hail to water.
And farewell. Before we completely leave sacred space, I would like you all to take 3 deep breaths. Hold and release. Once more. Hold and release. One more time. Hold and release. May we go from this place refreshed and aware,
The circle is open.
yet unbroken,
Merry meet and merry part.
and merry meet again.
It is our intention to continue to offer online rituals on the new and full moons and to move to public meetings in Edmonton when it's safe to do so, hopefully very soon.
We keep saying that, I know.
I know.
We will, one day.
Tuesday, November the 8th, will be the next full moon, and we'll be here. Your turn.
It's yours.
If you have ideas for ritual, we want to hear from you.
Don't worry, we're getting the hang of this. If you would like to do so, we would be honored to hear who you are remembering this Samhain and how you would like to spend this special Sabbath. It's also okay to do so in your hearts. Blessed be everybody.
Blessed be. And I'll see you next week.
Don't worry, you'll see me too.